I was really excited this week to receive a delivery from Iliada Game Studios, and quite a few of those pieces are things that Ali's had out for a while, and I'm going to be putting them up on my website for sale very soon. But this was a sample that Ali sent me, which is his first commercial foray into 28mm terrain. Now, before I go and remove all of these parts from their restraints, I just wanted to point out there is a piece missing there. Now, I have got that piece. The problem is Ali was really nice and he sent me a load of additional spare pieces of doors, and I'm just not sure which one of these spare pieces should have gone into that space. So just take it for granted that Ali hasn't shortchanged me. He has definitely sent me that piece. I'm just not sure which one it is that you get extra in the kit. So I'm going to go away and take these out, and then we'll come back and have a look at assembly. So having removed those pieces from their assembly, we can see that we've got two large pieces, two small side walls, a roof, 4 hook buttresses, and these 4 what I'm calling normal buttresses. Now, I've already pre-glued these normal buttresses onto the small walls because it makes the assembly that little bit easier, and I'll show you how it goes together. It is a straightforward tongue and groove operation. Blop, blop. And then there. And you can see that having glued the normal buttresses on to start with, we've already got something that can be assembled as is needed. So, you know, this can easily be taken apart and stored more easily if you don't want to keep it fully assembled. There's the roof into place. You say, what are the hook buttresses for? Well, the normal buttresses that I pre-glued are covering up the exposed wood that's still visible here. So the hook buttresses go on, whoops, there goes the roof. Hook buttresses go on so, down the side. And there is a gap in the top. If I indicate here, there's a gap in the top here in the roof for each of the hooks to hook into. They don't stop you removing the roof, it's worth mentioning that, because if you do want to have access to the interior of the building in the course of a game, you can still remove the roof thus. So before I go and talk about the detailing on this piece, I just want to talk about this coating that Ali has put on the outside. So obviously with MDF, with plain MDF, something anybody who's worked with MDF buildings will have found is that MDF, it is quite hungry, or perhaps I should say thirsty for paint. It likes to soak paint up, and you can find yourself having to use quite a lot to get a decent primer coat onto your wood. And a coating like this, for the first thing it does is it makes that not a problem. So you can prime over this coating and the primer will just stick on straight away and won't be sucked up by the wood. So that's number one. Number two is Ali is working, this is a bit of an experimental piece. It's not for sale yet on his website, but I hope it'll be up soon. He's planning to produce this in different colours pre-printed. So initially it will be different colours, so you might have grey on the sides and pale on the top, or black on the buttresses, or whatever it might be, to give it a bit of instant variety and punch on the tabletop. The ultimate aspiration, of course, is to have this pre-printed with nice fitting graphics for a range of different settings and environments, so that you can have a variety of pre-printed terrain that you don't even have to paint for it to look great on the tabletop. But for now, this is just an experimental piece to see how the coating goes down. It looks really good, it's given a nice finish. I mean, I'd be happy in many ways to put that on the tabletop just as a piece of blocking terrain, but Ali has also provided a detailing kit that goes with it. So I'm going to go away for a couple of moments and have a play with this detailing kit and come back and show you what I've done. Now, it's interesting coming back to this that I spent a lot more time just doing this detailing than I did actually building the main bulk of this piece of terrain, just because there are so many options presented by the kit that Ali's brought us. So first of all, I went straight for the door. The door is two pieces, so you've got the frame here and we've got the actual doors themselves behind it. You could easily split that up and just have these on the outside and then this somewhere else. If you wanted two doors into the building, it would be really easy. I like the fact that it's double thickness. You can see that it's got that depth to it. Gives it that kind of that slightly airlocky feel to it, so you can imagine it's a little bit more sci-fi, so somebody's perhaps trying to either keep their atmosphere in or keep the alien atmosphere out, that kind of thing. I've put a couple of window frames up, which when this is painted, I'll give those a little bit of a glass effect and give them some gloss finish. I've popped a little ventilation piece on the roof and a power cable on the side down here, and on this end a little bit of I mean, I was imagining that this was like a sewage port of some sort where they'd extract any waste that's produced inside the building so it can be taken away, and that was all I added. Now it should be said there's a fair bit left, because all of these pieces sort of fit inside one another, so you get multiple pieces that you can split up or use together depending on how it's done. So that could go over the top of that to make that a little bit deeper, make it more chimney-like, for example. But I've left it how it is for now because I can keep these and use them on other terrain. The other thing I wanted to bring in though was the ladder. Now the ladder's a great ladder. It can just go on the side of the building as a ladder, but it comes with these two toothed ridges that you can then fix to the back of the ladder. Now you can use these ridges for all sorts of things. You could use them as windowsills, or put them over doors, or just add them as detail to the walls, whatever you want, but I've put them on the back of the ladder. Now you could again just glue it straight from there to the side of the building, just to give it some depth, to give it some sense of room, but I've left it separate so that you can do this, because these teeth are great for adding some grip if you want to run this ladder up against the side of some obstacle. And in the case of this building, you can easily run it so that it's just got its teeth sitting on top of one of the windowsills, and that just gives it more of that sort of laddery feel, like something that's been left there, and yet it's nice and secure. It's not going to go flying off if it moves around. I suppose the last thing I should do is get a miniature in and show you what scale we're looking at. So here's a 28mm miniature up on the top, down by the door. We'll have a closer look in a moment. And here it is from a lower angle with all the rest of my terrain behind it, so you can really get a sense of it in context. So it's very much a one-story building, but the door is a good size for an individual. Good movement up onto the roof. But your big robots are going to have line of sight blocking to an extent. They're going to struggle to see somebody on the other side. So Ali hasn't put this up for sale on his website last time I checked, but I am sure that it's going to be up there shortly, and I look forward to seeing what he does with his experiments on the colours and the printing on these buildings. He's new to 28mm, but I'm sure this is going to be a fantastic kit for him, and I look forward to seeing more of it on my tabletop and possibly even in the Precinct Omega store. If you like the look of Ali's stuff, do check out the Precinct Omega shop, which will be in the link at the top of this screen, because I'm getting some of his 6mm and 15mm kits up on my website for purchase, and they are really cool pieces, and actually quite a lot of them would fit in quite nicely to 28mm gaming as well. That's all I've got to say on this one. If you've got any questions about the kit, if you'd like anything more that you'd like to know about it, do pop them in the comments under here. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.